The Hoover came quickly. Hi everybody, this is End Time Narc Nation, and I'm Angela Michelle. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to talk about hoovering today and my narc. It was strange because it came a lot quicker than I thought it would. The type of person that he is, he's very arrogant. I thought he would hold out a little longer. It was not sexy. Don't get me wrong. No, it was not sexy. It was not romantic. There were no tears. It was almost an embarrassing joke, but it was a Hoover, still the same, all the same. I remember feeling a little weirded out about the fact that he hoovered so quickly with the things that he had done. We're at the point now where he has removed all the money out of the bank account. Now, keep in mind, I was a housewife. I had just gotten a little part-time job right before the separation. My narc he goes to the bank and he removes all the money out of the account. And he removes his direct deposit as well. His reasoning for doing this is the first week that he leaves, he goes and basically overdrafts the account. He spends all of the money out of the account and out of the checkings account in like 3 days, and causes overdrafts in the account. I'm flipping out and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? He doesn't respond. He's going out to different restaurants, and he's taking all of his kids out to restaurants, just spending money like there's no tomorrow. And also what I find out is not only is he spending money like no tomorrow, but he's also borrowed like $2,800 from his stepdad, which was absolutely ridiculous. I could not believe it that at the same time that he was borrowing $2,800, that he spent pretty much all the money out of the bank account in our checkings account. And so I'm so nervous. I don't know what to do at this point. And so then when I got paid, I kept the money because now I'm terrified. He texts me, he says, "Hey, so why didn't you put your money in the account?" I said, "I'm not putting my money in the account." I said, "You just overdrafted the account. If I do, it'll suck it all up, first off. And I'm not going to do that because you've left me without any money." So after my ex overdrafts the account, he's demanding, or he wants to know, where is my check? And I said, "I'm not depositing it into the account because you've bounced the account and you've overdrafted the account, and now there are a bunch of fees, and it's 10 days before you or I get paid again." And he was like, "Well, that doesn't matter. We have to split everything 50-50. I said, "I'm not going to put my money into the bank." I hadn't even gotten paid yet. I was about to be paid, but he knew that. So he goes, and how about he borrows some more money? He goes to his uncle and his stepdad, and he borrows more money. And the next day, as I'm pulling in after I dropped off my daughter from school, he pulls in and he parks right behind me as I'm pulling into the driveway. He so graciously hands me $100. And I said, "What is this?" He says, "Well, I just wanted to give you that since the account was overdrawn." I said, "You mean since you overdrew it and you took all the money out of the account?" He says, "Well, I just wanted to give you that, just to help you out. I had to borrow money to help you." I said, "No, you didn't borrow money to help me. You overdrafted the account, going on your little spending spree since you've been gone." I said, "You spent all of the money and now you're acting like you're doing me a favor by giving me $100. So he totally didn't want to hear that. He just walks off and says, "Well, I just wanted to give you the money." Walks off, gets in his car, and he drives off. Days go by. It was about a week ago. And he texts me and he says, "Hey, So I want to get this over with. The sooner the better. And so I'm like, okay, fine. So if you want to mediate it together, that would be good, because then we'll save on attorney's fees if we can just do an uncontested divorce. So he says, okay, fine. Yeah, let's do that. And he says, the sooner the better. You want to meet today? And so, and all this is by text, mind you. And I say, well, no, I can't, because, and also it's Sunday. I don't want to meet today, because if we do agree, I want to go ahead and get it signed off on, get it notarized, so that we can have the attorney or an attorney put it, create a non-contested divorce. So he says, okay, fine, we'll meet Monday. And so I say, okay, that's fine. We agreed to 10 a.m. at the library. So we meet. I get there about 5 minutes later than he does. He's already in the room when I get there. They have like little private rooms. So I go in the room, and so immediately he's weird, and he seems disheveled, kind of nervous actually, which was very surprising. And I noticed, since we had been apart for about a month, I was starting to feel, calm. And I didn't even realize it until I saw him. And thinking about, the things that Ross said. I cannot think of his name, but he's an expert. They call him the Narcissist Whisperer, but I know his first name is Ross. I do apologize, no disrespect. But I can't think of his last name right now. He talks about how they become unglued because they haven't been around that main supply, because I guess he's been out seeking new supply, or he has one. Whatever, I'm not sure, or trying to secure one. So I walk into the room. I start talking about, what I want. And I ask him, I had my lawyer to actually draw up the things. I said, I want to get this divorce done as soon as possible. So what's the bare minimum that I will get without having to fight? Like, if I don't hire an attorney, what is the bare minimum that I will get no matter what? I'm willing to do that, so that I don't have to fight. I present the write-up to him. He says, why are we doing this? Why do you want to do this? I said, what do you mean, why do I want to do this? I said, I want to go ahead and get through with it. He says, well, why do you want to do this? He says, why don't we just sweep everything under the rug and start new? I said, no, I don't want to start new. I want to get through the paperwork. He immediately gets upset, and he's like, I can't believe that you're doing this. Why do you want to do this? I said, can we just get back to business, please, and discuss the paperwork? I said, I don't want to talk about our past history. I don't want to talk about our relationship. I want to do what we came to do, which is discuss the divorce settlement. So I start going through everything. He laughs. He's giggling as I'm talking, and basically just, I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you're doing this. Is basically what I got. I paused and I said, look, if this continues, I'm going to get up and leave. I don't want to go back and forth. I don't want to do anything but what it was that we came here to do, which is to settle, and so that we can move forward. He gets upset and he stands up and he says, I see who you are. I see who you are. And I say, okay, so are we going to finish? Nah, I'm leaving. He said, yeah, that's what I'm finna do. I'm leaving. I said, but we haven't finished the paperwork yet. He says, well, I'm done for the day. I'm done. So he gets up and just walks out, almost running past me to get to his car. And he seemed offended. He looked tired and dehydrated. He looked nervous. His hand was shaking a little bit, I noticed. It was very weird to see him kind of unglued, but like I said, I remembered what Ross stated in some of his seminars, that they need us to, kind of be whole. It was amazing just to see that as I observed, but it was very interesting to watch. And so he runs past me and almost just like a little kid running to the car, basically having a minor temper tantrum, because in his oh so romantic, so sexy way, so genuinely heartfelt, oh, let's just sweep everything under the rug and start new. That's what I got. That was my beautiful Hoover. So my beautiful Hoover for the day. And so he gets in the car and drives off, and I'm like, wow, that bit the dust pretty bad. We were in there for approximately maybe 30 minutes. So about another 4 days go by, 4 or 5 days. And I get another text. Hey, I want to go ahead and get this over with. So let's meet again because we need to settle this. I'm tired of this. I don't want to fight anymore. You had your lawyer draw up everything, so fine. We'll just go with that. Let's just agree. I'm ready to agree with everything. So let's just go ahead and get it over with. So now I'm like, okay, wow. He said it that he wanted to go ahead and just agree. And I didn't answer his message right away, so he calls. On the second time he called, I answered. He says the same thing. So I say, okay, if that's what you really want to do this time, I said, I'm willing to do it. But just keep in mind that that's what I'm coming to do. I'm coming to settle this. Yes, that's what I want to do. I'm tired of this. I don't want to fight anymore. I said, okay, well, fine. So we set a date, and it was actually 2 days ago. So again, we get to the library. This time we're sitting outside. We have to sit outside because all of the study rooms are filled. So we sit outside at a bench. It's real quiet out there. So we get there, and instantly we start going through, and we're almost done. We're at like the last 3 issues. And so he starts having a problem with everything that I said. I said, well, what do you mean? You've already seen the list and you said that you agreed with it. We're just here so that we could pretty much sign everything and then go get it notarized. What is your problem with what you already knew it said? He says, well, I didn't realize it said that. So what does that mean as far as the money is concerned? How are we dividing the assets? I said, well, it's simple. According to the paperwork, we're just going to go through storage and we'll divide everything in there 50-50. We do it. We pick a date. We both go and we say, I want this. I want that. And if it's something that both of us want, we compromise for something else until everything is finished. I can't really go into the nature of everything because, like I said, the proceedings are, starting. But basically what he wanted to do was trade all of the assets in the storage houses for child support. I'm sorry, I just have to put it out there. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's not going to work. I said, this is garage sale stuff. I'm not going to do that. So he gets mad and he tells me that I'm trying to rape him. He says that I'm just trying to bend him over because of the county that we live in. I'm trying to take advantage of him. He tells me that I'm a horrible wife, that this is the reason I married him. Now, keep in mind, when we first got together, he did not have anything. He was just fired. He had just been fired from his corrections job. He had just broken up not too long ago from his ex, and he was he didn't have anything. So I helped him. I helped him to get to where he is, and now he's basically blaming me, saying that I just want to rape him and take everything. And I said, well, no, I'm not trying to rape you. I said, all I want to do is what's fair. And you said it the last time that we talked that you already agreed. So let's just get it done. My ex did not want to do that. He stands up. He goes off on me. And I mean, when I say scream, he's screaming this. And we're outside. We're out in the benches. And so then it hits me. I said, oh, he was looking for supply. He was upset, I guess, because the Hoover didn't go as he planned. And so now he wants to punish me. So he's out there hooping and hollering. He's hooping and hollering outside. You're a bad mother. You're just trying to use me and now you're trying to rape me. And I'd rather hear it from the judge than to agree with you. And he's just like going off. And I'm just looking at him like, wow, this guy is truly a monster. Like, he truly is. And so I said, well, you do know. I said, if you walk away, you do understand that we're not going to do this again. I'm not going to continue to meet out here and have you go back on your word and not go ahead and get this done. He says it again. I'd rather hear from the judge than agree to do anything because you're not doing what you said you were going to do. Now keep in mind, what we agreed upon is that he was ready to get it over with. He wanted to sign the papers, but that wasn't his true motivation. His true motivation was to punish me because his Hoover didn't work. And it was so strange to watch him running to the car, and he's like huffing and puffing, and he's so angry with me. And just to see how, although it wasn't romantic, he definitely was he tried to suck me back in. And even by shaming me, by guilt, whatever he felt he could do, even though I still think that he's seeing someone. I think that he definitely has someone on the side that he's waiting to bring out, because one of the things that he says, you know, I've never been unfaithful in my marriage. And I'm like, well, that was so random, the way he said that. It was just almost like the little kid, you know, telling on himself. It was just like, yeah, buddy, yes, you have. You've been doing something, because it just didn't make any sense to me. He wanted to try to pull me in. It didn't work, and he's upset. And now it's gotten to the point where he's kind of giving me the silent treatment. He wants our son all the time. Now, this is the same guy who would literally, him and my son could be sitting right beside each other, and he would be sitting there playing video games all day. Wouldn't say 5 words to our son. But now he wants to come pick him up like every couple of days and take him, you know, to Jersey Mike's or something, and then he'll bring him right back. Or I found out the other day that he picks up our son at like 11 a.m. and he goes and drops him off at his mom's house, and he stays there all day from 11 to 8 p.m. Daddy's gone, but he made it a point to come and pick him up from me just to give him to his mom. I'm just like, oh, I just hate what we're about to go into, because now I feel like he's going to, since that's the only way he feels that he can get to me now, because he sees that I'm getting stronger, I have to sit back and and his Hoover did not work, that I feel like now he's going to try to use our son as leverage. And it's kind of amazing to see how he's love bombing our son. I was like, wow, I don't know what his plan is. I don't know what he's up to, but he takes our son. Now, keep in mind, he has 4 other children, he has 3 other children, 1 set of twins and another girl. But keep in mind, he does a lot of things just with my son, just those 2. And he love bombs him. He takes him out to eat, you know, and he loves to pick him up now. Things that he's never did in the past. He's never spent this much time. Since we've been broken up, he's never spent this much time with him. He'll just go pick him up and take him out and spend, you know, like $30-40 on a meal or something, and then bring him back home. But my point is, he's never did that. And it's amazing to watch. I married a monster. And although sometimes I get a little confused, to be honest, a part of me was kind of looking forward to the Hoover. It wasn't Shakespeare. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't sexy. I'm not going to apologize. I didn't do anything wrong. Let's just sweep everything under the rug and get back together. I forgot to tell you this part. When we were at the table, we were at the benches sitting down, this man was trying to convince me that him cursing me out was okay. He was basically pleading his case as to why I shouldn't look at him cursing me out as such a big deal. He said something to the effect of, well, you knew before we got together that I cursed. I said, yes, I did know that, but you never cursed me. You just started doing that about a month and a half ago, where you started cursing me out with your FUs. I said, I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not going to be in a relationship with a man that curses me out. And my husband says, but I'm a grown man. And he was serious as a heart attack. He says, you can't tell me how to act. I said, exactly. You're absolutely right. I can't tell you how to act. And you can't tell me that I'm supposed to stay in a situation where a man wants to willfully disrespect me. I said, if that's what you want to do, you can do it, but you're going to do it outside of the marriage. Nostrils flaring. He was so upset because in his mind, I wasn't making any sense. In his mind, I was wrong because I was taking away his ability to be an adult and express himself the way he wanted to now. Something that he's just introduced into our marriage. After all of these years, when we were dating, he's never cursed me. If he ever cursed me before, he knows I would never have married him. He was basically trying to give me reasons as to why it was okay. And to see the sincerity in his face, I don't know if it was manipulation or whether he really believed it because he's so wrapped up in his delusion. He's truly like a different person. He acts like someone I do not know, like the man that I've known all of these years. He's somebody else. And I don't know if it's because he's kind of morphing into whoever this new supply might be. And this is me just speculating because I'm not sure. I feel he has somebody else. And he's giving her so much of his energy that he is changing. And I believe, I really do believe that he wants to keep me on some level. But in his mind, I think that he only wants to come back. I came to the conclusion that he's hoovering because he really just doesn't want to see me happy. And so he's going to try to punish me by maybe extending this divorce out as long as he can. I don't know. I don't know if he's just bluffing or whether or not he's going to try to, string this on as long as he can, because he knows he's already went and seen an attorney. According to him, he already knows that I'm just asking for what I'm going to get anyway. He already knows this. I made it clear that if this ends up having to go through the courts, that I'm going to ask for more. But I'm moving forward, and I'm looking forward to a life that is narcissist free. I want that for all of you. But just remember, when it gets tough, keep your head up. Because even though it's hard, it sucks hot, but trust and believe, it does. But I am looking forward to when it will be better. So thanks for watching, and I'm Angela Michelle, and this is End Time Narc Nation.